Absolutely exclusive.
Yes, sir. State Facts Podcast Morning Show. I am your host and your brother Dean. Welcome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is April 3rd, 2020, and it ain't getting any better. First and foremost, I want to send up some supplications to the most gracious, most merciful, for allowing us another opportunity today to right our wrongs from yesterday. For it is He who calls us to die, and it is He who gives us life again and allow us another opportunity to be able to do this again. The coronavirus is real serious. We know a lot of people still isn't taking it serious, but I'm pretty sure that everybody is aware. So being that everybody is aware, you know, whether you see it or they show it or not, because you know how people sometimes they try to act a little, put on a show for everybody as if they ain't afraid of it or anything. The thing about it is, when you do something like that, you got to realize that, you know, somebody else may be feeding off of your energy, whether you like it or not. Other people feed off of your energy, and you can cause somebody else to go the wrong way. So today, this morning, April 3rd, 2020, on this beautiful Friday morning, we ask that Allah make us amongst the ones who set out for good examples so that others that follow us can follow us to greatness. New York City, New York. Hashtag let's pray for New York. Pray for New York. Pray for the governor, man. He have a lot on his shoulders right now, and he's facing a lot. Also, the citizens of New York, they're facing a lot. According to the news, they're running out of bed space, which we know. They're running out of ventilators, which we know. They telling people at the hotels to stay in the hotel rooms. 1,000 people died in one day, man. You know, it's getting real serious. They had had in the United States of America, we had 1,000 deaths in one day, 24 hours. That's a lot. So thank God you woke this morning. I want to take this moment right now to correct some of my wrongs. And I want to let my listeners know, my core listeners know that everybody know that, you know, I've been a part of my struggle for a long time, for it as trying to demonstrate my religious belief and my religious practices. You know, sometimes you catch me on, sometimes you catch me off. I said something yesterday in the cast we did yesterday. I mentioned my brother, he joined me for Jumu'ah. The correct thing was he joined me for Ramadan. The month of Ramadan, and the month of Ramadan is coming up. Inshallah, that means Allah willing, God willing, the Creator willing. It's coming up again. I want to correct myself. And I want you guys to know that as a mu'min, as a believer, our books teach us to accept being corrected. We want to be corrected. So I'm saying that to say, if you happen to see any misspelled words, or you hear me say something that ain't correct, and I didn't state the fact, I would like for you could DM me. You know, if you know me, you know my phone number. You can definitely, you know, help me. Constructive criticism is something that is useful to man. So, back to, again, anything, you know, you see me, you know my intention is good. So anything you hear me say that isn't correct, I want you to make sure you be a friend of mine and be a God body, and make sure that you remind me or give me the correct way to say things and do things. Tomorrow is Friday, which is Jumu'ah. The Jumu'ah service is on Fridays. And maybe I was thinking a few days ahead. Astaghfirullah, I ask Allah to forgive me for thinking ahead because tomorrow isn't promised, especially in these days and time. So the Jummah is the service that Muslims attend, like a church service on Sunday. Ramadan is the month that we fast. I just want to make sure I correct that. All right, I hope you woke up on the right side of the bed. I have a lot to talk about today. Y'all stay tuned. Vibe with me for a minute. Yes, sir. Some states still isn't shutting it all the way down. Some states is still allowing people to walk around, and that's bullshit. If you ask me, excuse my choice of words, it's a bunch of bullshit. They need to get off of that, because if 1,000 people die in one day, what more does it take? That's like war stuff going on right there. All right, and I don't want to be too creepy about talking about these topics, but I got to lay these down before we get started. I want you guys to know that we spoke about, we were speaking about kids being at home from school and stuff. Look, when Sunday, not just Sunday, sit down and let your kids watch some church services or something. Invoke some God in them. You know, it'll humble them down. It'll humble your house down. Don't forget that. All right. There's 240,000 cases in the United States of America with the coronavirus. 6,000 plus Americans have died already. California is making a whole state wear these face masks. Are they effective? I doubt they are. I did my research about them. You could do your research and see what kind of mask you might want to wear. But professionals say they wouldn't even matter. The gloves is a little more important than that'll be. Unemployment is rising at an increasingly rate. What I was saying was, and what I'm going to do myself, if you know something about me, I'm only going to give you information that I'm willing to use myself. I'm going to go withdraw my cash out. The bulk of my cash, I'm going to go withdraw it out, because in these trying times, you don't know what's to come. So don't depend on the banks. Don't depend on the president. Don't depend on your governors and your mayors. There's only one who you can depend on, and that's the most gracious, most merciful. We ask the most gracious, the most merciful to make us amongst the ones who go to him and depend on him more than anything else. I mean it. Today I went to the store. I went to the store today, and you know, it's just amazing to see how, you know, we learn over here in the West, in America, we starting to learn now the way these people been living in the Middle East. These people been having to stand feet away from each other. These people been, only a few of them could go in the store. So now we are being regulated by our government, not knowing what the crisis, not knowing, having a solution for the crisis or a remedy for the crisis. You know, the best thing you can do is withdraw your cash. Don't worry about the banks. Don't worry about all that. I would say withdraw your cash and go and stock up on as many products as you can for your house, for you and your family to be able to survive. And one thing I want to point out, zoom in on me a little bit, brother. One thing I want to point out is when you go to the grocery, the things that you see left on the shelves is the things that you need. Don't let them trick you. See, everybody grabbing all the cream style corn and the whole corn, and they leaving the beets. The beets is what you need. Grab as many cans of beets as you can. If these trying times get worse, and I don't understand how they keep predicting everything to get worse if they don't even know where this thing at, where it's starting and where it's going to end. Allah knows best. So like I said, you know, take my advice. Take the advice that applies to you, that feel good in your heart, that I'm saying. Because the things that I'm telling you guys is the things that me and my family is practicing on the daily. I thank the most gracious, the most merciful that nobody in my family has been affected with it. I want to send my condolences out to everybody whose family has been affected by it. And prayer work, man. Stay prayed up. Don't be afraid to be the first one to tap into somebody positive live, tap into the church live. Like I said, don't be the one who is embarrassed or feels some kind of way about tapping in. Today is April 3rd, 2020. State Facts Podcast Morning Show. I am your host and your brother, Dean. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. State Facts Podcast Morning Show. There's a lot to talk about, and we're gonna continue. Inshallah, that means the most gracious, the most merciful willing, we're gonna be able to continue our journey. We're trying to spread some good news to you guys, and we just winning out of the things that's going on. Just don't forget, the most important things is pray for New York. Know that there's people on the front line. Pray for those people that's on the front line. Protect your kids, protect your house. If you see any unknown vehicles around your house, pay attention to what's going on around your house. You know, try to keep the smoking and the drinking and all that down to a minimum in front of your kids. Now, when you go in your closet, when they go to sleep, you know, do what you want to do. But know that right now, we are our kids' life teachers right now, and maybe for the end of time. Nobody knows when this thing gonna be over. So don't be fooled by these dates that people is giving out. Nobody don't know when the time is gonna happen. And one more minute of y'all time, I want to say this. Exercise and get ready. If you know something going on, if everybody got this conspiracy theory about something going on and something gonna happen,